All right, we are moving on to our last part of 8.2, graphing. And they're going to have you graph using a table of values when y is not alone. So you're used to graphing like this, y equals x plus 2, and you'd pick some values for x, figure out your y, and then you'd have some points, and you'd plot the points. Well, when y is not alone, it's a little trickier. You could do it the long way, but I highly suggest, especially to prep you up for slope-intercept form, you want to get y alone. In order to get y alone, you move the x term. When I say term, I mean everything that's sticking to the x, you move it. And you move it by doing inverse operations. Okay? If it's positive, you'll subtract it. If it's negative, you add it. And then you're going to end it by dividing. Divide everything by what is in front of y. Everything. Here's some examples. If I had 3x plus 3y equals 9, if I want to get y by itself, I'm going to move my x term. Okay. That is a positive 3x. How do I move positive? Subtract. I'm going to subtract 3x. So if I subtract 3x on the left side of the equal sign, then I need to subtract 3x from the right side. I have to stay balanced. Now they are not like terms, right? They're not like terms. So I can't combine them. I have 3y left is equal to negative 3x plus 9. I always put it right above, right after the equal sign. You want to put the x term right after the equal sign. Now I divide everything through by what's in front of y. Y equals negative 3 over negative 3 is a negative 1 plus 3. Done. And 1 likes to hide. The best way to write it would be y equals negative x plus 3. If 1 can hide, let it hide. Okay? Same strategy. Move the x term, divide by what's in front of y. So the first thing I want to do is move the x term on this next one. It's a negative 4x. How do you move negative 4? Add. So I'm going to add 4x to both sides. Remember, you want the x right after the equal sign, so I just kind of smush it in front of the 12. And I have 2y is equal to 4x plus 12. That was step 1, move the x term. Step 2, divide by what's in front of y. The 2 is in front of y, so I'm going to divide everything by the 2. See how I'm dividing everything? The only time I wouldn't divide something, parentheses are like a shield. So I wouldn't divide anything inside the shield, but here nothing is protected. So y equals 4 over 2 is 2x plus 12 over 2 is 6. Okay? I want you to try the next two. Compare with someone within your circumference. Okay, so I'm going to move my x term. That's a positive 15x. If you ever get confused, like am I going to add it or subtract it, I highly suggest just covering up that y term. Okay, so here it's positive. To move positive, I would subtract. Subtract 15x. Subtract 15x, right? This is a negative 5y. I hope you got that. Negative 5y is equal to negative 15x plus 10. Divide by what's in front of y. And I get y equals a positive 3x plus, what's that, a negative 2? Okay. MCA would never have it like that. They'd have it like this. Y is 3x, take 2 away. Okay? Next. Next, I don't have to add or subtract the x term because the x is already on the opposite side. So I just have to move this -1. So what I'm really doing, the trick behind here is just change the sign of everything. But technically you're timesing through by -1 or dividing through by -1. So if I divide through by -1, I get y equals positive 2x plus a -9. Y equals 2x minus 9. Learning target 1 done. Getting y alone. That was our main goal. Now we apply it to what we did yesterday, and we use it with graphing. Okay, don't. Okay, so the first thing you do is get y alone. You knew it. You're so genius. Get y alone. Make a table is the second thing you do. And third, you graph it. How did you ever know?
Yesterday.
Okay, so we're going to do these two examples. I'm going to get y alone, the first two. Or the only two. Move the x term. So that's a positive 3x. To move positive, I would subtract 3x, right? The opposite or inverse of adding plus is subtract. And then I would need to do it to the other side as well. Remember, you put it right next to the equal sign. So now I have y equals what? -3x minus 5. Now I can make my table. Okay, I don't have any room. Oh, man. So, y equals -3x minus 5. Y equals -3x minus 5. I'm just going to do -2 to +2. And this is where I just evaluate. I plug in. Yep. Absolutely. This is where I just kind of plug in the -2 and evaluate. -3 times -2 is 6, minus 5 is 1. So I have the point -2, 1. -3 times 1 is +3. Minus 5 is -2. So I have the point -1, -2. Put the 0 in. -3 times 0 is 0 minus 5. You got this written down? Which is -5. 0, -5. -3 times 1 is -3 minus 5, which is -8. 1, -8.
Oh, I see.
-3 times 2 is -6 minus 5, which is -11. 2, -11. Now I graph it. So I did step 2, I made the table. That's the part we all kind of don't even love that much. Now I graph. -2, 1. -1, -2. 0, -5. 1, 2, 3. 1, -8. And 2, -11 I can't get to. So this would be my graph. Okay. Okay, so the next one, the first step I have to get y alone. So I need to move my x term. I cover up the y to see how I'm going to move it. It's a positive 4x, so I will subtract 4x. Both sides of the equal sign. That cancels out. This is a -2, so I have -2y equals -4x minus 8. Divide through by what's in front of y, everything that you can. And I get y equals a positive 2x, negative over negative is positive, minus a -4. Well, when you minus a -4, you're just really getting a +4. Okay, so that's my equation. Y equals 2x plus 4. Now I make my table. I'm going to go -2 to +2, and then just start evaluating. -2, so 2 times my x plus 4. 2 times -2 is -4 plus 4, which is 0. So I have the point -2, 0. 2 times -1 is -2 plus 4, which is 2. -1, 2. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 4, which is 4. So I have the point 0, 4. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4, which is 6. 1, 6. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 4, which is 8. So I have the point 2, 8. So now I graph it. Last step is graph. -2, 0. -1, 2. 0, 4. 1, I don't know what this says. 1, 6. And 2, 8. Graph it. Make sure to extend it. Include your arrows, and you're done.
2 minutes and 10 seconds.